All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Security Account Setup webinar today. I'm excited to have everyone here. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here at the Zoom webinar. So a few things before we begin. We're going to go over a few of the operational tools that Connecteam has to offer for security companies. We'll go over how they can help you guys manage your security officers, your guards, and also how to set it up. A few things. During this webinar, I'm just going to be talking. I'm going on a monologue. I'm not going to be stopping. If you guys have any questions, at the bottom of your screen, you have a Q&A tab. You can click on it and you can ask any question you want. We have a team of panelists here. They'll be glad to help you and answer any questions you have while I continue on with the webinar itself. At the end, if we have time, I might be able to answer some questions and also demonstrate them on the actual screen itself. The webinar is recorded for future use, but don't worry, you guys are not seeing. It's just the screen that I'm sharing and myself as well. My name is Shachaf, by the way. I'm a customer success manager here at Connecteam. I work with a lot of security companies. I've got a good idea of how to set it up, and I'm going to try and give you guys all of my knowledge, or some of my knowledge, basically, here today. So the features we're going to be going over are the job schedule. We'll see how you guys can create a schedule for your guards, dispatch it, and also overview and manage the day-to-day. Then we're going to switch over to your time clock. Time clock is where you'll be tracking time, where you'll be preparing for payroll, and also where you'll be able to see the whereabouts of your security guards while they're on the shift itself. Then we're going to finish with the forms. Forms is where you can create checklists, where you can create reports for your security guards that are out in the field, or are out on site, and they can submit those as many times as they want, and you guys can see those. They can take it, show it to clients, or of course, give any feedback to your security guards. If we have time at the end, we might even touch on the communicational tools that you guys have, like the chat, the updates, the courses, which is a great tool to do onboarding and training for security officers, and so on. So without further ado, let's begin and let's dive right in. All right, so the first time you guys enter Connecteam and log into the account, you'll arrive in your overview page. The overview page shows you basic statistics of your app and basic engagement of your security guards with the mobile app itself, like when they're most active and what they're actually doing. On the left side, you have your sidebar, where all the different categories, all the different features have been activated for you. Some you activate yourself. We're going to navigate to your schedule to begin with. So I'm going to click on schedule and I'll arrive in the schedule lobby. The schedule lobby shows you all the different schedules you have created. You can create a schedule for different teams. You can create a schedule for different projects that you guys are running. If you're doing security for different events, for example, you can create a schedule for a specific event as an example. For this example, we just got the one, so let's click into it. All right, let's talk about Connecteam's schedule a little bit. So Connecteam's schedule is here to help you guys as manager plan out your week ahead of time, put it out on the board so you can make sure that there's no conflicts, make sure that all your security guards are scheduled for the right jobs, for the jobs that they are qualified for, and make sure that all your different contracts, all the different jobs have a security officer assigned for every shift. In addition, you guys will be able to manage the day-to-day, see that your employees have completed tasks and have done everything that they need to do. And from the security guard's point of view, they're able to look ahead of time, see what shift they're about to do next week or tomorrow. They'll have all the different information right there on their mobile phone always, and they can always communicate back to you guys if there are any changes. And of course, any changes you guys make or any comments that they leave will notify both sides. So the scheduler also helps you guys communicate any changes and any publications of shifts or any edits in shifts to your security guards and of course backwards. So you're always on top of things. Let's begin. So as soon as you enter your job scheduler, you'll arrive in this page, which is a weekly view. On the left side, you have your security guards, and on the top, you have your different dates. Everything in the middle, these are the different shifts that the security guards are shifted for. So for example, we can see that Amber is shifted to do security for Ford dealership on a night shift tonight. Let's create one of these shifts together. All I got to do is, let's say I want to give a shift for Adam on a Thursday. All I got to do is click on the plus button here, and I'll have the shift model open up on the right. The top section of the shift is all about the date and time of the shift. So for example, if this was a morning shift that started at 7 a.m., I can put that 7 a.m. until, let's go, 4 p.m. as an example. The middle section is the core information of that shift, what they're meant to be doing. So this would be the morning shift that I can put here in the shift title. And then I can select the job. Job is anything you guys are going to be tracking time for. Now, there's two different ways of using this that security companies usually do. One, selecting the job itself or the client itself. Later on, this will help you guys invoice those clients as well, because you'll be able to see that you worked 17 hours the last week for the community college, as an example. The second option is to do the task at hand. So you can schedule a security officer to do a patrol shift at a specific event. So you can choose one of these two. For this example, I'm just going to put community college. Adam Smith is already selected as a user. I can create a shift with multiple officers if I'm running an event, for example. If I have a shift with multiple officers, all I got to do is click on add users and add another user to this specific shift if I wanted to. And I can also allow security guards to claim shifts. So say I don't want to decide for them what they do. I want to give them all the options and allow them to claim it. I can use the enable users to claim this shift button and allow specific security guards to claim only jobs that they are qualified for. It really depends on how well you guys operate with your security officers and how you're used to dispatch. Next up, you can put the actual location. For example, community college, let's put Fifth Avenue. And this is going to be a clickable link that's going to show up on the shift information. So the security officers can even click on it and see where they need to go. Underneath this, we have the note. Note is where you can put any description and any information regarding this specific job or this specific shift. It could be the gate code. Gate code is la, 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 la. Like this, the security guard always sees whatever it is they need. Also, you guys can attach specific files or images that are relevant to this specific job and shift, and even attach a shortcut. Shortcut is a way for you to link different parts of Connecteam into a specific shift. A very popular way of using this is to actually link a form, which we'll talk about soon enough, for the security guards to actually submit as the shift goes on. For example, security guard shift report. Now this form is going to exist within the shift, and my officer is going to enter the shift, it's going to see the form, and they will have to submit it, tell you guys what went on throughout the shift. You can add specific shift tasks as well. So this would be patrol. So they need to do a patrol throughout the shift, maybe lock the gates. So you can give them different tasks as well to perform throughout the shift itself. And if a shift repeats itself, for example, you need to perform a job every day of the week, you can even make it repeat itself. Let's save this shift as a draft for now and just put it on the board. So as soon as I click on save draft, the shift appears here. It's not yet visible to the employees. So Adam can't see it because I haven't published it. I can still drag and drop it and move it around. So this allows you guys to manage and edit anything you want without hassling your officers. You can drag and drop it. You can duplicate it if you wanted to, and drag and drop it to the relevant person. Now the system will automatically notify you of any conflict. So if one of your officers selected to be unavailable on a specific day, or you know they're unavailable, the system will tell you, hey, you can't schedule him here. You have to move this around. And as soon as I click on publish, only the relevant security officers will be notified. So if I click on publish now, both Adam and Amira, they both got notified that a new shift has been added to their schedule and no one else was hassled. In addition, the schedule also gives you guys indications back from the employee. For this example, we can see that Amber McDonald has accepted a shift. So I know that she's gonna do it. Here I can see that she's rejected it and even left a note. I have a family event, I can't make it. So I can now drag and drop this shift up to Alice and publish it to her. So everything is all about the communication between you, between the security guard, back and forth to make sure that the schedule is up and running. Awesome. So this was the creation of the shift and the basic steps of the schedule. Let's explore a few other tools that the schedule can give you guys to make your life a whole lot easier. Just making sure I haven't missed anything. Awesome. On the left side here, you have a tab that's called View by Users. You can change this to View by Jobs. This will actually assign the different jobs and different projects that you guys are running on the left. So when you're actually dispatching, a lot of time you don't know which officer is going to perform which job. So you can actually do the jobs here on the left and say, okay, for the East Side Church, I need someone on Friday. And I can create the shift from here, say an evening shift. And let's just save this as a draft for now like this. And I put the shift on the board. It's still not assigned to anyone, as you guys can see. When I change it back to the View by Users, I now have the shift on the top section here under Shifts Without Users. And all I got to do is drag and drop it to an open security guard that's available, and then click on Publish. That would be the proper way of dispatching. Now, security guards or security companies, a lot of time have a structural week. So the week pretty much looks the same unless you guys are running events. You can save either a specific shift as a template, and then you can reuse it in the future. So as soon as I clicked and saved the shift as a template, all I got to do is drag and drop it to the relevant person and click on Publish. I don't need to recreate it. In addition, you can even save an entire week as a template. So if you have 1 week that you created and you like it, and this is the way it should look, save it once, and you never need to recreate it again. All you'll have to do is make slight changes every week because someone might be sick, or someone might be asking, a client might be asking for an additional security officer. You can simply load up the week, make the changes, and publish it all over again. In addition, we give you guys abilities like copy the previous week, clear the week off completely, and start off from fresh, and many, many more. If you're a large company, which security companies usually are, you'll have a very long list of security officers here on the left. It's very hard to dispatch this way. So what we're actually also giving you is actually the filters option. You can filter your view here based on an employee's or a security officer's personal information or qualifications. For example, give me everyone that's either part of a specific group or everyone that is qualified for a specific job. So I could do that only specific officers are qualified to perform community college, and automatically the list will slightly deduct itself based on the preferences that I set, or maybe Eagles Outlet, and the list will die down as well. So we give you a lot of different tools to schedule different teams, different jobs every time, and make sure that you're doing everything correctly before you actually publish everything all at once. All right, let's have a look at how we can actually create a job, because you guys will need to create these jobs for yourself. At the very top right corner, you have a jobs tab. I click on it, I'm gonna get a list of all the different jobs that I have created or one of my admins have created in the system. For example, community college, Eagle Outlet, the same ones we saw just before. Adding a job is easy. All I gotta do is click on add job. I can give this a title, so we'll call this one a job name. I can qualify specific employees. So if you have different certifications for your security officers, you can qualify only specific ones for a specific job, which will mean that only they can perform that job and you don't have any conflicts on that section as well. You can also attach any location or any description that will automatically be inserted into any shift that this job is assigned for. At the end, you click on Save Job, and just like that, you're done. The job name is here, and I can now dispatch any shift with this specific job. Next to the jobs, we also have options and settings. Settings is where you guys can really customize the schedule to your needs. You can enable actions like the accept and rejects. You can enable employees to request shift replacements. You can assign limitations on your schedule to make sure you're not scheduling overtime, and many, many more. I'm not gonna go deeply into it now, but please have a look at it and customize the schedule to your business's needs. Awesome, this is it for the schedule. I'm gonna be moving on to the time clock now, and we're gonna talk about how to perform payroll. So I'm gonna click here on the time clock. and automatically it's going to take me in here. So let's talk about the time clock in general. Time clock is here to help you guys prepare for payroll. So it's going to allow your security officers to track their time. It's going to make sure that they track their time only when they're on the job or on the premises itself. And it's also going to allow you guys to communicate back and forth with them. In addition to that, you guys will be able to prepare for invoicing. You'll be able to manage absences and also make sure that every time that security officers are at the right place, where they need to be and when they need to be there. So as soon as I enter the time clock, I'm gonna arrive in the Today tab. The Today tab shows the manager what is going on right now, who is currently clocked in, what job they're clocked into, and even where they've clocked in from. I can also see everything on a map. So I can see here all the different clock ins and clock outs that my employees have done. I can even see, and this is something that's coming up later on this week, I can even see the patrol that they've done. So I can actually track where they were throughout the shift in a sort of a breadcrumbs type of method, which will allow you guys to make sure that they've done the patrol that they need or that they stayed on the job if that's where they meant to be. Make sure and also allow you guys to show your clients, my security officers were on the job the entire time. You can also see everything as an activity timeline and see all the different actions that have been taken. Now, we give you guys also tools to understand what is meant to be going on right now. If you go into your filters again, you can actually filter out to say, give me everyone that's meant to be scheduled right now. I click on it and automatically I can see that Joshua, Orlando, and Amber, they're all meant to be scheduled, and Awesome, they're also clocked in. And I can see that Brett actually isn't. Well, I can actually open up a private chat message with Brett here and ask him, hey, Brett, why are you late? Where have you been? Is there an issue? Maybe you had an issue getting to work. Let me know and I can maybe find a solution for you. So you can always communicate back and forth, and you can even communicate with multiple employees at once by simply selecting all of them, clicking on actions, and either sending a chat message to each and every one, and even opening up a team chat with them as well. So you can create a team chat for everyone that's currently on a specific shift or working on a specific job or a specific event. So that's the Today tab. Next up, we have your Timesheets tab. Timesheets tab is where you go to prepare for payroll and export for payroll. The timesheets will show you a summary view of all the hours worked by your employees based on the payroll period that you guys have predetermined, which we're going to touch on soon enough. So I can see that my entire company has worked for 403 hours. I can see what's overtime, what's regular, if there's paid absences, and even if there are breaks. Here I have a breakdown of every single employee. If I want to see every shift that they've done, all I got to do is click on their name. So let's check out Gabriel, for example. I'm going to click on Gabriel's name, and I can see his personal time card. Every shift that Gabriel has done, the clock in times, the clock out times, and the jobs that he performed. Everything here is editable by a manager. So I can take this and I can change this. He actually clocked in at 8:45, and automatically everything will adjust accordingly. I can remove shifts, I can add shifts from here, add breaks, and even add absences, just like here. So I can see that Gabriel is meant to be off in a few days, and I know not to schedule them. That's going to appear in the schedule as well. And it's also going to be exported with my export later on. As a manager, I can also lock these time cards. So I can make sure that no one else is able to touch these shifts. No one can change them. And this will ensure that the payroll is done correctly. When I'm ready, I can export into one of my different export formats. Usually, security companies that work overnight shift or 24-hour shifts use the shift report, because the shift report will put together one shift in one line, even though you clocked in one day and clocked out the next day. The timesheets and payroll totals will sum those up for you and split them by the day. So my recommendation, use the shift reports. Let's close this. Awesome. After you've gone through all the different time cards, you can either export everything all at once, so you can export in bulk all the different timesheets or shift reports for all of your employees. One thing to remember before exporting is to check out the pending request button. So when an employee wants a day off or wants to edit a shift, they actually ask for a request. They cannot alter their own time cards without your approval. And any change they make, you can either approve or decline. For example, Joshua has asked for an absence, a vacation, my daughter's birthday. We're going on a 2-day hike with all the family. Approved. And automatically this absence will be inserted into his time card and appear there and be exported there later on for payroll. It can either decline all or approve all of them. Awesome. If I scroll down now, I have 2 more tabs. On the left side of my absence insights. This allows you guys to track your PTOs, make sure that there aren't too many absences that have been requested or approved on a specific payroll period. It will also allow you guys to go into them and see who's currently on vacation and who isn't. On the right side, we have our job insights. Job insights allow you guys to see how your resources are spent. So I can see that for community college, for this specific payroll period, I have worked 45 hours. I can even export this and show it to my client, community college, and invoice them accordingly. Very useful tool, the job insights. Awesome. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Amazing. Next up, I want to touch on the settings itself, where you guys can customize the time clock. So I'm going to click on settings. Once you enter the settings tab, this is where you can really make the time clock your own. So each business kind of changes this based on their own preferences. On the left sidebar, you guys can navigate to the different tools. We're going to touch on some of them today. The first page is the general tab, where you can decide on daily limits and automatic clockouts for your employees, and even enable day locking by specific managers, all of them or some of them if you want. Underneath this, I'm going to go into the payroll. It's crucial that you guys set up your payroll period early. You can decide what day your week starts. You can decide the payroll cycle, whether it's a week, 4 weeks, once a month, or twice a month. And of course, decide on the last date it's been done. This will allow the system to automatically adjust the date range based on your payroll periods and always show you and your employees where they stand currently, how much they've worked on this specific payroll period without adjusting the dates. You can also set up automated reminders for both your employees and your managers to check out the timesheets and approve them if necessary. Underneath this, I'm going to go over to the jobs. The same jobs that appeared in the schedule will appear here. Any changes I make will reflect in the schedule. Any jobs I add here will also be added in the schedule. So we give you guys 2 different options to look at. Underneath this, I'm going to touch on the geolocation. The geolocations allow you guys to see where your employees are when they perform the actions of clocking in and clocking out. The top section is all about setting this on required or optional, meaning, do I want to know where they were, or maybe I don't care. If you guys want to know where they've clocked in or clocked out, set this on required. The brand new feature that we've just added is enable breadcrumbs. This will enable you guys to see where they've actually gone throughout the shift, just like I showed you on the map. Underneath this, we have the geofence. The geofence site allows you guys to put a radius around your job site and ensure that the actions of clocking in and clocking out are only performed in that radius. So a security officer will not be available to clock in from home or from on the go or from the parking lot. You can ensure that all the time that's being tracked for a specific job happens when they're on the job itself. Last thing I want to touch on is the limitations. You can assign limitations that are based on a specific shift. So if I, as a security officer, am scheduled to be on a shift between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m., you can decide to limit my options of clocking in or clocking out before 7 a.m. or clocking out after 4 p.m. This will ensure that no extra time is being tracked by mistake, because mistakes do happen, and the system can work for you and help you out here. So you can set these limitations through the settings at the very bottom left here. Okay, we're done on the time clock. Next up, let's touch on the forms. So forms, we'll start here with the forms from the HR. Forms are basically a digital tool for you guys to collect information from your security officers when they're out on the field. These could be HR forms like employee referral or expense reimbursement. If they had to buy something on the go, they can simply take a picture of the receipt, submit a form, and have you guys notified in real time and even approve them. So all this information flow goes very smoothly between the officers and you guys. What I do want to show you is part of our operational forms. Security companies usually use these as a shift report, for example, the same one we saw when we attached it to a shift. Security guard shift report, where every security officer throughout the shift or at the end of the shift needs to submit a report of what has happened. Was there anything out of the ordinary? Were there any incidents? Did they lock all the doors? You can create one generic shift report for all the different events and clients that you guys are securing, or one per specific venue, depending on your needs, of course. Also, a very popular one is the incident report. An incident report is a form that a security officer submits whenever an incident occurs throughout the shift. Let's have a deeper look into this one. So I'm going to click on the incident report, and I'll arrive in the incident report insights page, where I can see the general activity here. I can see it as a timeline, so I can see what has happened throughout the day, or even looking into the past. And if I scroll down, I can even see who's submitted the form. Let's just have a look at what this form actually looks like to the employee. So I'm going to click on preview, and we're going to see the mobile preview for the security officers. So this is an incident report. They can add their specific location. So this will actually grab their geolocation of where they were when they clicked on what has happened. So they can describe what actually happened through this incident. They can even record it if they cannot type. They can answer a yes or no question if anyone was injured or not, if they had to call the police or not. They can put in the names and even take pictures. And at the very end, they can even sign off on it. You can even make some of these questions as required. So they cannot submit a form without first answering those specific questions. Let's have a look at what an entry looks like now. I'm going to click on the show entries to arrive in the entries table. I'm going to get a list of all the different security officers that have submitted this form. So I can see that Gabriel has submitted a form today. He didn't add a location, and he answered each and every question here. If I want to see what this form actually looks like, the submission, all I got to do is click on this icon here, and I'll have the submission open up on the right. So Henry, this was the location, blue attire, no one was injured. Did the police arrive? No, didn't have to take any pictures. So not a huge incident, but it's important for me to know. And he even signed off on it at the very end. Now, we even give you guys something we call manager fields. So this is where the form ended for Henry. But me as a manager, I now got notified in real time that Henry has submitted this form. So I get a notification in an email that an incident report has been submitted by Henry. I straight away want to go see it, and I want to give feedback to him as well. So I can leave a note. So need a better picture, for example. He didn't take any picture, so I can even change this to please submit a picture next time. I can even adjust the status. So if this was a request of some sort, I can say that this is in review or even concluded. Whoop, let me change that. I can tag another manager to have a look at it, and I can even add my own signature on it. And everything here is exportable. So this could also be a form that you guys show your clients. For example, the shift report, every shift report you can show your clients so they will know what went on. They know that the security officer has locked all the gates, taken picture of all the different locks, the lights were off, and this is shown to the client with every invoice at the end of every payroll period. You can create as many forms as you want. They can be submitted as many times as you guys want, and you can put them in different folders as well for organizational purposes. Also, if you guys want to manage multiple submissions, all you got to do is click and scroll to the right, and I can see all my manager fields here, and I can see that all of these have been concluded. Awesome. I still need to look at Gabriel Knight's past entry that they've just made, either me or one of my other managers. Let's close this now and go back into the forms lobby. Creating a form, super easy. All you got to do is click on the add new. You can either use one of our templates or start off from scratch. I'm not going to go too much into how to create it now. Very simple, drag and drop. You can customize a template as much as you want. You can create a form any way you want it, with signatures, with images, with audio recordings, with checkboxes like tasks, anything you want through here. I strongly recommend creating your first one, either a daily one or a weekly routine form. And you can even look here in the learn about this feature, which will walk you through step by step on how to create the form itself. And let me just take a check on the time. All right, I'm getting the signal we don't have any more time. So I'm not gonna go into any of the other feature. I'm gonna give you a few teasers. You guys have a lot of communicational tools under the communication here. Chat is your daily communicational tool. You can chat back and forth with one security officer or a specific team. For example, all of John's team or all the security officers that are performing patrol. You can perform a team chat, make sure that everyone's communicating with each other. Updates is a way for you to send out announcements. Maybe there's changes that have been made next week to a schedule or to an event, or maybe you want to welcome a new officer, or maybe there's a new training that has been published. You can create the updates and that's going to show up on the main feed for them. You can either publish it to some employees or to publish it to the entire company. Last up, what I want to touch on is courses. Courses is a tool that you guys can click on add new feature and add a course. This is where you can create a customized training for your officers. This could be periodical trainings every month, every couple of months. This could be an onboarding for new trainings. This could be a knowledge base if you want to create a knowledge base based on your company or based on best practices to use a firearm. Everything can be on the app itself and give you guys insights to which security officer has actually seen it, has seen a video, has passed a quiz. You can also quiz them through here. Anything you need, the courses is an amazing tool. That's it for today. If you guys have any more questions, you can email us. We'll send you a summary email with the recording of this. We also have the help chat at the bottom right corner. So you can send us a message, and we answer quite quickly. In addition, there's the help center and our YouTube channel, full of instructional videos for security companies and more. Check those out. They'll help you and guide you step by step. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Have an amazing rest of the week. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.